Hello, veterans. Been getting a lot of requests to read one of my manuscripts that has been entered into the Library of Congress. Met with Joe Galloway a few weeks ago, and we did a 2-hour interview, and I have about 4 manuscripts that are going to be entered into the Library of Congress, and I'll just go through one of them with you right now and read it for you. Getting a lot of requests for this. So this is about the USS D'Amato, DD-871, on December 13th, 1967. We're going to call this manuscript The Guns of Dong Hoi, because we were in Dong Hoi Harbor, 400 miles north of Saigon, north of the DMZ in North Vietnam, and we were firing. Our mission was to Operation Sea Dragon, to fire on the Viet Cong, their civil defense sites, for the, it was the entryway to the Ho Chi Minh Trails, where they supplied the Ho Chi Minh Trail. So I'll just read this to you. Just another day on the firing line, I told myself as I pulled myself up into my rack, being careful not to hit my head on the asbestos-wrapped pipe that was an inch above my nose. When I lay on my back, the white powder would sprinkle on my face from time to time. It was September 13th, 1967. Next month I'll turn 21. How did I get myself into this war? I was going to college and following my big brother's footsteps, but that all seems far away now. The damn draft notice is burned into my brain. The port and starboard watches and radio were making the days at sea become a blur. 4 on, 4 off around the clock, even since we left Subic Bay, steaming for North Vietnam. We're doing a lot of damage to the VC, hitting their supply lines to the south. We have become a killing machine. I keep wondering if I will see home again, maybe next year, if I can survive Vietnam. I had just closed my eyes when I heard the screws of the ship pick up speed. What now? Bridge, general quarters, man your battle stations. Came over the 1MC loud and clear. I knew we were heading in for a run on Charlie. I jumped from my rack just below the fantail, grabbed my flak jacket, which we called a chicken vest, and World War II metal helmet, then worked my way forward as I could, up the ladder, through the hatch to the radio room just behind the bridge. My battle stations was at the far end of the radio room inside Crypto, the top secret teletype machines. The radio room was really buzzing with action. I entered the Crypto room, locked the steel door behind me. I was all alone as messages were flying off the teletype. The ship started to turn, pick up speed. I reached in a drawer for my .45 and strapped it on. I was drenched in sweat from the frenzy to get to my battle station. I tossed my helmet and flak jacket on the deck under the teletype machine. I figured I was safe in all the metal room, forgetting that the armor-piercing steel was replaced the year before to make the ship lighter and faster. The small room was air-conditioned to keep the transmitters and receivers from overheating, but the sweat was dripping off my forehead. I was now ready for some action. How many gooks can we kill today? The commands from the bridge were blaring above my head. Bridge, Mount 51 air. Gunner, Mount 51I. I was in the gun mounts with Gunner during training in Gitmo. Gunner was on the New Jersey World War II. Bridge, Mount 52, ready air. AG, I, 52I. Bridge, Mount 51, fire for effect. Fire, 5 salvos, continuous fire. Gunner, I, 5 salvos, firing for effect, bridge. Bridge, Mount 51 on target. Fire, 10 salvos, rapid continuous fire. Gunner, 51I, 10 salvos. The ship shook and recoiled with every burst of fire from the ship's big forward guns as we headed straight into Charlie's hell on earth. We were destroying the trucks loaded with supplies heading down the beginning of the Ho Chi Minh Trail, the famous Ho Chi Minh Trail that ran south to the DMZ. Charlie would also load up barges with supplies using manpower to pull them down that river, dumped into the Gulf of Tonkin, then along the beach. There were civil defense sites with big guns protecting the mouth of the river, firing at us as we approached. The range on the Russian-made 155 Hollisters was 13 miles. We were 1,800 miles off the beach. We would send in Willie Peter phosphorus and set Dong Hoi on fire. At night, it looked like the 4th of July. Bridge, counter battery, bridge, Mount 51, fire at will. Gunner, fire at will I. Sonar, bridge, sonar. Underwater explosions port side, bridge, I. The ship started to turn again. This time along the beaches of Dong Hoi and the main supply line of the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Now we can give them a broadside with both guns. Mount 52, rapid continuous fire. Fire at will, Mount 52. Continue to fire. AG, 2I. Bridge, hit. Then all hell broke loose. The first explosion knocked me to the deck. I pulled myself up frantically, putting on my helmet and flak jacket. Then I unlocked the door just as I stood in the door. Next incoming round blew me to the other side of the radio room, landing me on top of Red and the chief. We all three scrambled to open the main hatch to the ASROC deck. Once open, we could only see fire and smoke. The ship came to an abrupt stop. We were dead in the water. Immediately, we closed the hatch and went back to our assigned stations. Bridge, keep firing, 52, rang out from the bridge. Keep firing, AG. 2I, bridge, signal, bridge, man, the 50s. Signal bridge, I, man the 50s. Charlie was coming out from the beaches in logistic craft. We started to receive rifle fire. The twin 50s swung into action, holding Charlie off the starboard side. I had to notify the 7th Fleet commander that we were under fire and needed help. The USS De Haven was 25 miles east of us in the Gulf of Tonkin. She changed course and all full ahead, rang out on her bridge. Damage control was putting the fires and pumping water on the ASROC missile launcher next to radio. ASROC missiles were kept cool in the sweltering heat of the Southeast Asia by an antifreeze jacket, but that was breached by the explosion and leaked onto the deck. Pumping seawater onto the launcher kept them from exploding on their own. The launcher held 8 missiles. The warheads were swapped out on rotating basis. At the time, we had 3 nuclear warheads aboard because President Johnson was considering using them to end the war. Only a few officers knew that what warheads were in launcher at the given time. This kept it interesting, to say the least. No one panicked. After all, we trained for all those months off the coast of Cuba. But this is not a drill. This is war, hot and heavy. USS De Haven arrived on the scene, positioned herself between us and Charlie. It didn't take long before they retreated, and what was left of them headed inshore. The captain came over the 1MC. This is the captain speaking. Charlie finally got to us. We took a hit on the torpedo deck and also destroyed my import cabin. And another amidships behind radio and took the ASROC launchers. Took out the ASROC launchers. Let's hope this is only time Charlie gets to us. Bridge, secure from general quarters. Bosun's pipe. Now, turn 2, commence ship's work. That's it. That's the guns of Dong Hoi. That's one of the manuscripts that I submitted to the Library of Congress. It'll be published later this year. So this is dedicated to the USS D'Amato, December '67, North Vietnam. Thanks for taking the time. Please subscribe to the channel.